Coming up on The Shield, BSO held a rally against gang violence this past weekend at the Chapel of the Resurrection.
And UPC held their annual Songfest competition at the Arc.
Broadcasting from Schnabel Hall on the beautiful campus of Valparaiso University, you're watching The Shield on VUTV.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Brendan Kinney.
And I'm Lynette Grant. BSO held a rally against guns and gang violence this past weekend at the Chapel of the Resurrection. This event was held to raise awareness about the senseless use of guns and gang violence. Students were able to read poems as well as written testimonies of victims. Valpo students performed a vocal duet to remember those that have lost their lives. After a prayer by Pastor Jim, balloons with names of friends and family members affected by guns and gang violence were released into the sky as a symbol of hope for the future.
Also this past weekend, UPC held their annual Songfest competition at the Athletic Recreation Center. This group competition offers students the chance to sing and dance their way to winning one of the many titles. Many groups, including a wide variety of Valpo's Greek life, participated in this year's competition. Tri Delta won the female division and Phi Kappa Psi won the male division, while Sigma Chi and Kappa Delta won the co-ed division. There were many other favorites, including Pi Beta Phi and Sigma Phi Epsilon. All groups that participated had very creative shows to present to the student body.
Earlier this year, some regions of our country were hit by some severe weather that had long-lasting effects. Meteorologist Tyler Eliason gives us a look back at these devastating storms.
It was a pretty quiet year here in Valpo, certainly in terms of the weather, but that doesn't mean the entire country was as calm. The 2012-2013 school year has given us some pretty incredible weather moments. From historic blizzards to a once-in-25-years superstorm, we saw it all. Join me as we take a look back on some of the historic weather events of the past year. First, there was Hurricane Isaac, a storm that brought fear to the New Orleans area. It was the city's first real test after Katrina. There was some uncertainty as to whether or not the new levees built after Katrina would hold. They did, even with the 11-foot storm surge and near 20 inches of rainfall that fell on the city. Next up was Superstorm Sandy, a storm for the ages that affected nearly the entire eastern half of the United States. There was devastating flooding all across the northeastern coastline. There were blizzard conditions throughout the Appalachians where nearly 2 feet of snow fell in some places. Even the Chicago area felt the effects, as tropical storm-force winds created 25-foot waves on Lake Michigan. When all was said and done, the damage cost from Sandy was over $62 billion. Fast forward to 2013, a blizzard of historic proportions was bearing down on the East Coast. It was expected to be the worst storm in over 30 years, and it didn't disappoint. Over 3 feet fell across parts of Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Hampshire, Vermont, and even Maine. It was definitely not what many coastal communities still trying to recover from Sandy wanted to see. Finally, the recent flooding across the Chicago area. The entire area saw at least 4 inches over a 7-day period, but there were several localized areas that saw over 10 inches. Rivers rose quickly, flooding several streets, businesses, and neighborhoods. It was described by some as some of the worst flooding the Chicago area had seen in over 25 years. Well, there you have it, the school year from a weather perspective. For the very last time, I'm VUTV meteorologist Tyler Eliason.
As you may have noticed while driving around campus, the university is constructing a new building at the main entrance by Route 30. The new building, the Duesenberg Welcome Center, will house admissions, financial aid, as well as a reception for the university. It is set to open this summer. News correspondent Rachel Dunsing sat down with Barbara Liskey, Director of Admission Programs, and David Feving, Vice President for Admissions, for more on the new Welcome Center.
Hello and welcome to this special report about the newest addition on the Valparaiso campus. I'm Rachel Dunsing. Joining me today are Barb Liskey, the Director of Admission Programs, as well as David Fevig, the Assistant Vice President for Enrollment Management. Welcome. We're going to be talking a little bit about the new Welcome Center. I know a lot of students have been seeing the construction that's been going on basically all year. So can you talk about how the Welcome Center project came to be?
Okay, for many years, the only access to the admissions office was sort of like, I'd call it a back door. People had to wind around campus, even before the US 30 entrance. And I remember coming here when I first started and couldn't find the place, hardly. So it's sort of like a back door. And so it was recognized that we needed a front door to the university. So the Welcome Center is the front door. And now that we have the 30 entrance and it's right there, you can't miss it. So anybody who visits campus will immediately know where to go.
That's definitely really nice, because I know I'm a student tour guide on campus, so sometimes we have students or prospective students and families who are trying to get to campus and they get confused and they get a little bit lost. So it's not a large campus, so you wouldn't think you'd get lost. But I definitely think that that is that's a wonderful idea. So we've talked a little bit about, I mentioned I'm a tour guide, but what's the main purpose of the Welcome Center? What is this building going to be used for?
Primarily to welcome visitors. The name fits it very well, but there will be exhibits throughout the building, and those exhibits show where the university has been, where we are now, and where we hope to go. So those will be explorable by any visitor who comes into the building. The building's not just restricted to prospective students because admissions is located within it, but we welcome anyone who is coming to campus to come and visit the building and the exhibits. And there are a couple of presentation rooms in the building, and other offices on campus can reserve those for presentations they may have to give or a meeting that they may need to conduct too.
Wonderful, thank you so much. So how is it decided what departments would be moving to this new building?
Okay, well, it is only the admission office that's moving to the building. And the simple reason is that admissions sees the vast majority of people that visit campus.
Right.
So it seemed logical that that's where we would be. There was some discussion originally about some alumni staff presence, but due to some cost and space restrictions, that didn't come about. But so it's really just the whole admissions office is there.
Wonderful. So a lot of buildings on campus have names for alums who have helped donate money to the university. Is that the case with the name for the new Welcome Center?
Absolutely. You nailed it. Phyllis and Richard Duesenberg are alumni, and they were the persons who contributed a significant donation to make this a viable building for us.
Fantastic. We're always appreciative of those alumni donations. Definitely helps modernize our campus and kind of keep people wanting to come back and see the new additions.
And then part of the name, of course, is still Welcome Center, the Duesenberg Welcome Center. So that just reflects the purpose of the building is to welcome. And almost in some ways, sort of like a national park visitor center. It's the place you go to get oriented, and then you can go from there.
Wonderful. I definitely appreciate that, and hopefully prospective students and families will be able to appreciate that as well. So the big question, when is the building going to be finished? When are we going to be able to move in?
We're getting so close now. As you can see, if you look outside there, they're working on landscaping and sidewalks and curbs for the parking lot. So we are getting very close. They're finishing flooring inside. May 23rd is when furniture is delivered.
Okay.
And then the staff will start moving in June 3rd. So that first full week of June, we'll be moving in.
So very soon.
Very soon.
That is
month
so
away.
exciting. That is awesome.
And a couple of things are happening a little bit later. The exhibits are going to be probably put up sometime during the summer when they're finished. So.
And that helps that there's not as many students on campus. There are obviously students coming for summer classes and summer visits and things like that, but
it's a little bit slower, right. The other thing is the dedication is on homecoming weekend. So Saturday, September 28th, so the Saturday of homecoming, at 10:30 in the morning is the dedication, and alumni will be back for homecoming, and then current students and even prospective students are encouraged to come over and recognize Phyllis and Dick and thank them for their contribution, and then to tour the building through an open house.
Oh, well, that's exciting. That's definitely something to keep in mind on that campus calendar. So we've kind of talked about this. It's the admissions thing, but this is going to be the starting place for tours, correct?
Correct. And as you know, Rachel, working in admissions, most people who are coming onto campus looking for tours are usually prospective students.
Yes.
We also have large groups that come to visit campus through the high schools or through the churches, and those are usually coordinated through our office. So they will also start there. Whereas in the past, we've had them usually start over at the Union to make it easier to accommodate a larger group. So now they can come into the Welcome Center, but alumni too can go out on tours. Occasionally we'll have alumni come back, maybe they're on vacation, driving by, say, oh, let's stop off and see Valpo. And they want to talk more about the historical changes and such. So our tour guides are going to be taught not only how to represent the university to prospective students, but how to represent the past and where we're going to alumni.
That's definitely wonderful. So how do you feel that this new addition is going to benefit campus? We've talked about could be a good thing for this new building?
I just think people knowing where to go once they arrive on campus is such a big thing. I took some of the board members on a tour of the building this past weekend, and they were talking repeatedly about how significant this building was, that when you pull into the main entrance to campus off US 30, POW, the Welcome Center is in your face. You can't miss it. And guests who are unsure where they're going will know that the new signage will be there, Duesenberg Welcome Center. It's going to be very obvious. And I think that's just a very positive thing when you have people coming to your home, coming to your campus, and being able to welcome them, and that they know where they're going, they know what to do, and they know who they're going to be seeing.
And the visit is a very critical component of a student's college choice, and we think that this will greatly improve the quality of the visit. And the quality of the visit is often equated with the quality of the university. So we expect a long-term benefit of this might be enrollment might increase even more. As alumni come through and see all the history, we think maybe giving will increase even more. So it'll probably pay for itself in time.
Well, that's definitely a good thing to hear, I know.
Even though the Duesenbergs are donating the money for
Right.
it, but it's going to be, I think it's going to be a real asset in those indirect ways as well.
That is wonderful. All right, so kind of our last question here. Can you tell us what are some newer projects that are going to be coming to campus, in the near future, if you can say anything about that?
Oh, we can. The new announcement came out this weekend after the board meeting that they'll be able to break ground on a residence hall coming up this late summer, early fall, and the intent is that we begin to use it next fall. That fast.
Wow.
Yeah, fall of 2014.
Wow. That's definitely a good
So
thing
it's going to be
hear.
fun to watch that thing go up so
Yes.
quickly.
Exciting. So those are basically the projects that we'll be seeing the effects sooner. Or the
Right,
soonest. Yeah.
right. Exactly. That'll be the next big one coming up. And then there's an eventual chapel addition to, and science. I mean, if you look at the campus plan, you'll see all of these different projects that are down the road here. And some of it's dependent on donors and what they want to invest in, what's important to them and means something to them.
Wonderful. All right, so before we finish up the interview, are there any other pieces of information that you would love for the campus community to know about the new Welcome Center or any admissions projects coming up?
Admissions projects. Well, we will have an open house for current faculty and students and staff on June 19th. It's a Wednesday right in between two of the focus sessions, and that'll be from 1 to 3. And we wanted anybody who happened to be still on campus for the summer to please come over and see the building. The exhibits won't be up yet, but at least they can get a feel for what we'll be able to offer.
All right.
Another key thing that we needed to have before moving into this is the imaging system that the university is investing in. So we will be a paperless, fileless office in the next year.
And that's definitely a big thing now, as there are a lot of TV stations, there are a lot of places that are starting to go green and use less paper. That's definitely a wonderful thing to hear. We're all trying to help the environment a little bit nowadays.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Well, we definitely thank Barb and David for taking time out of your busy day in the admissions office to come speak to me here. Once again, I'm Rachel Dunzing, and we definitely give you guys a big round of applause and thank you.
Thanks for having
Yes.
us.
Oh, it
Thank
is
you.
absolutely our pleasure. So that's it for me here. I'm Rachel Dunzing once again. This has been your VUTV exclusive. Thank you for watching.
For a quick check of your Valpo weather forecast, Storm Shield meteorologist Matthew Schaefer is in the Storm Shield Weather Center. Hello, Matthew.
Thanks, guys. It's been an extremely wet April. In fact, we're over 5 inches above average for the month. Will May bring better weather? Well, at least to start May out, it's going to be a wet week once again this week. We'll see if it dries out after that in my 5-day forecast.
Thanks, Matthew. After these commercials, we'll have a look at your Valpo weather forecast as well as national news and sports. Stay tuned. You're watching The Shield here on VUTV.
The Valparaiso University Meteorology Program gives you the scientific knowledge of a big university while keeping the small college atmosphere. At Valpo, you have the opportunity to take meteorology courses every semester throughout your college experience. Our approachable faculty are among the best in their field, and the small student-to-professor ratio promotes individualized learning and a family environment. Valparaiso's extracurriculars encourage specialization in all aspects of weather, including research, operational, aviation, and broadcasting. Students receive hands-on experience forecasting, launching weather balloons, using our on-campus dual polarization Doppler radar, and even chasing storms. Our alumni serve in all areas of meteorology, from researchers at universities to forecasters at the National Weather Service to Good Morning America. Valpo Meteorology, your forecast calls for success.
Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Marco Estrada and I'm the president of Live, and I'm also the vice president of UPC. On May 3rd, this whole area, the cafe right by the Hari Union, is going to be transformed into the second annual Fiesta After Dark. So if you're looking for a night full of inflatables, free authentic Mexican food, music, and free giveaways, coming out for a great night.
Welcome back to The Shield. People living in California's Gold Country are being told to stay inside. Police are searching for the man who stabbed 8-year-old Lila Fowler to death in her Valley Springs home. Investigators say it may have been an intruder. It appears just she and her 12-year-old brother were home at the time. Deputies have been going door to door searching inside homes in the county. Lila would have turned 9 in June.
The circumstances around singer Michael Jackson's last days are heading to court again. The wrongful death case his family filed against concert promoter AEG Live starts this week in Los Angeles. Jurors will be hearing what's likely to be months of testimony. They are to decide whether AEG Live owes the Jackson family billions of dollars for the pop star's 2009 death. The main issue is whether the company hired or supervised Dr. Conrad Murray. He was convicted of involuntary manslaughter. Jackson died from a combination of sedatives and the surgical anesthetic Murray said he used to help the entertainer sleep. AEG Live was promoting Jackson's comeback concerts the year he died. The Jacksons say company executives pressured him and Murray to meet an ambitious schedule despite knowing about Jackson's health issues. AEG's lawyers say Jackson was responsible for his own demise and that his drug addiction led to a series of fatal choices.
Former basketball superstar Michael Jordan is now off the market. Hundreds of guests watched the former Chicago Bull marry his girlfriend of 5 years, Yvette Petro. The lavish wedding was this past weekend in Palm Beach, Florida. Sports stars like Scottie Pippen, Patrick Ewing, and Tiger Woods were there. Around 2,000 people are said to have attended the reception. This is Jordan's second marriage.
An early morning fire at a home in a Boston area neighborhood kills one person and injures another 15. Fire crews were called to this burning 2-story house in Allston on Boston's west side. Flames were shooting through the roof and thick gray smoke poured from the upper story windows as fire crews arrived. One person died in the blaze. At one point, a Boston firefighter was trapped on the second floor but was rescued and able to walk out of the building. Firefighters also rescued 3 residents using ladders. Officials say one resident jumped from an upper story to avoid the flames. 2 firefighters and 9 residents suffered minor injuries. There's no word yet on the cause of the fire.
4 men had to be rescued this past weekend after their fishing boat caught fire in the San Francisco Bay. It happened just off Candlestick Point. The flames and thick dark smoke took over the small vessel. The boat's owner says it caught fire just after the engine made a funny sound. He also says it spread quickly and his extinguisher wasn't much help. The police department rescued the men and the fire department tried to fight the fire. Fire boats could not get very close because the tide was out and the water was too shallow. Fire crews monitored the boat as it drifted and burned throughout the afternoon. One of the men was taken to the hospital for smoke inhalation, and the others were treated and released.
Well, we've finally seen warmer temperatures and a lot of rain in this past week. Will those April showers continue into May and bring us May flowers? Storm Shield meteorologist Matthew Schaefer joins us in the studio. Hello, Matt.
Hey guys,
April showers. We're over 5 inches above average for the month of April. That's a lot of rain. It'll bring a lot of Mayflowers and probably just about anything else that'll grow. So weeds, grass, already really sprouting up a lot. And those still have some spring showers persisting on through the week. In fact, most of the week will be wet as well with this persistent pattern. But for your May outlook, to start up, again, it's a lot like April. We'll see if this pattern will keep shifting and continue into the later months of May. But we'll start out with our forecast model. We have a nice cold front off to our west with the temperature 49 in Davenport by Thursday morning. Still up in the upper 50s by us in Valparaiso, but this is not going to move much closer to us. In fact, it doesn't even make the Illinois border just a few hours later by the time Thursday evening comes along. And we push it ahead another about 12 hours and even all the way into the afternoon on Friday. In the 50s and even lower 60s, excuse me, are still in the Valpo region. So we have this little band of cold air sitting between, say, the eastern half of Nebraska, Kansas, and all the way into the eastern half of Iowa, but it really doesn't get much closer to us, and eventually this warmer air out west will begin to overtake all of that. For your forecast Valpo tonight, we're cooling down to 50 degrees, not too bad. Chance of thunderstorms will linger in the area with the wind south-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, 65 degrees, nice day. Some of those showers may persist early, west wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And here's your 5-day forecast Valpo, 65 degrees on Thursday, low 48. The showers again continuing. Friday, maybe another chance of thunderstorms continuing into the area, 61 degrees there. Saturday and Sunday, more rain, although it won't be a washout either of those days, but we will see rain, a good chance of rain both days, at least at some times. And Monday, looks like the rain may end then, but cloudy skies will continue. Only 64 degrees there, low of 54. So it's going to be another wet week, guys. And it looks like April's continuing in, but yeah, everything will be growing. All those flowers, weeds, everything.
I know it's good for all those things, but we would like some sunshine.
Yeah,
but it looks like
start drying that out a bit.
Well, thanks a lot, Matthew. Appreciate it. And we'll be right back after these commercials with a look at your Crusader sports. Stay tuned. You're watching The Shield here on VUTV.
Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Mark Westrada. I'm the president of Live, and I'm also the vice president of UPC. On May 3rd, this whole area, the cafe right by the Hari Union, is going to be transformed into the second annual Fiesta After Dark. So if you're looking for a night full of inflatables, free authentic Mexican food, music, and free giveaways, come on out for a great night.
The Valparaiso University Meteorology program gives you the scientific knowledge of a big university while keeping the small college atmosphere. At Valpo, you have the opportunity to take meteorology courses every semester throughout your college experience. Our approachable faculty are among the best in their field, and the small student-to-professor ratio promotes individualized learning and a family environment. Valparaiso's extracurriculars encourage specialization in all aspects of weather, including research, operational, aviation, and broadcasting. Students receive hands-on experience forecasting, launching weather balloons, using our on-campus dual polarization Doppler radar, and even chasing storms. Our alumni serve in all areas of meteorology, from researchers at universities to forecasters at the National Weather Service to Good Morning America. Valpo Meteorology, your forecast calls for success.
Welcome back to The Shield. With a look at all of your Crusader sports, we turn it over now to Shield Sports Director Drew Taylor. Drew?
Thanks, Lynette. For the first time in program history, the Valpo men's golf team is headed to the NCAA tournament. This after a remarkable weekend in Florida. VU posted a team score of 884, good enough to win the Horizon League title. With the team victory also came individual success. Junior Thomas Wetstein shot 2 under on Sunday and was awarded medalist for recording the best total score from the weekend. Wetstein and the Crusaders will learn their regional location on Monday and will be back on the course Thursday, May 16th, competing in one of the 6 NCAA regionals across the country. The VU softball team continued their seemingly endless road trip last weekend. The Crusaders split Saturday's doubleheader against Cleveland State, edging the Raiders 3-2 in Game 1 before falling 4-1 in the nightcap despite 3 Cleveland State errors. The 9-8 Crusaders will be home Saturday to begin a 3-game series against Youngstown State, first pitch at 1 p.m. The Crusader baseball team hosted Wright State over the weekend, looking to catch fire here late in the season. Valpo was on a mission their first 2 games, outscoring the Raiders 22-6. Sunday, they had a chance to sweep Wright State out of town. The Brown and Gold struggled to get their offense going early. Bynum looks at strike 3 here on the inner half. Later, though, it was Spencer Mahoney driving one into the left center field gap, igniting the Crusader offense, and they would go on to beat Wright State and sweep the series. Final score from Emory G. Bauer Field, Valpo 5, Wright State 3. Crusaders have put themselves in favorable position after last weekend, as they are now tied for second with a record of 7-8. Milwaukee sits atop the conference, and the Crusaders will get their chance at them starting Friday at 3 p.m. right here at Emory G. Bauer Field. Remember to stay up to date on this game as well as follow everything Crusader sports. You can log on to valpoathletics.com. And for the last time, guys, back to you.
Thanks, Drew. And now with our last check of weather, Storm Shield meteorologist Matthew Schaefer joins us in the studio. Hello, Matt.
Hey guys, yeah, rain is the weather word for the week, for the past month, and will continue for at least the foreseeable future. Maybe not a washout every day like some of the days we've seen. However, there is that chance sticking around for at least the next 4 days and into the beginning of next week.
All right, thanks.
All right, thank you. Before we leave, we'd like to take the opportunity to recognize some very special people. In the next few weeks, the seniors of the class of 2013 will be leaving Valparaiso University and beginning the new chapter of their lives in the future with jobs or grad school. Here at VUTV, we have many students that have been working with us throughout the months, including our very own Executive Director, Brendan Kinney. Brendan, what are your plans for after graduation?
Well, I'm heading up to northern Michigan. I'll be in Traverse City. I'll be working as weekend anchor and then weekday reporter.
All right, that sounds very exciting. Congratulations.
Thanks, Lynette.
And would you like to take this opportunity to talk about the rest of the staff here on VUTV?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, what you see here on VUTV, there's a lot more that goes on behind the scenes that you aren't able to see. And some of those people that make up our team are seniors, like Lynette had mentioned. First of all, in no particular order, of course, we have Gus Radke. He is our outgoing productions director. Tyler Russell, he's been working with Gus quite a bit on commercials that you've seen on the air on Channel 82 and our YouTube page. Randall Spriggs, he has been working with VUTV for the past 3 years. And then also Drew Taylor. Last but not least, our outgoing sports director, Drew Taylor. And they'll be going on, again, like Lynette mentioned, grad school and looking for jobs right now. And also, we have our news Mets as well that are moving on as well, right, Matt?
Exactly, Brennan. 2 of our 6 news meteorologists are also graduating, those being Tyler Eliason and Hannah Coliander. We wish them and all of our seniors luck in the future and take them as much further than what we can get here at VUTV, and we want everyone to go out in the real world and get jobs. So thank you for all of our seniors, from all of us up here at VUTV.
Well,
Definitely.
Thank you, and you're welcome. We'll go with that. And that's going to do it for this edition of The Shield. I'm Brendan Kinney.
And to get on-demand VUTV programming, log on to youtube.com/ValpoVUTV. For everyone here at VUTV, I'm Lynette Grant. Thanks for watching, and see you in the fall.